Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Earlier today, I did a video. You won't see it for a bit, but anyway, I did a video catching up with the CCT 52 challenge organized by Caroline's Craft Tree. And I got the wild card, and I wanted to, so that meant I could choose any kind of an embellishment I wanted to. Well, it turns out that yesterday I received my prize from Karen at Black Swan Journals, and I did a flip-through video of that. And one of the things that she had dotted throughout the journal were these lovely hidden paper clips. So I thought, well, if Karen can do it, I'm sure I can do it. I mean, I have done hidden paper clips in the past, but, you know, it's one of those things. Use it or lose it. So I was mortified at how I couldn't figure out how to do it. Now, I realize there's an old expression, there's more than one way to skin a cat. But I did get it done, but I also promised myself that I would do a video on how to do this. Number one, for my own benefit, and number two, because maybe you too have been struggling with what seems like something impossible. So what I did was, well, a couple of things. Maybe I'll show you this single one that I have almost finished. Now this happens to be, which proves yet again that we can use all kinds of things. This is a remnant of a wallpaper sample. So I thought, well, isn't that going to be number one? That would be great in my purple journal, and wouldn't it be nice and resilient? So I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing before I turned on the camera. Now, it should be said, well, maybe I'll talk about that when I talk about paper. Okay, so what I did, and I'll finish this off with you, is that I was using these 1¼ paper clips. I do have lots of these long ones, and I'll do something with that later. And I figured out that if my strip of paper is 6 inches long and 1¼ inches wide, roughly, and I use a 1¼ inch paper clip, that it's going to work perfectly. Now, you probably have a tear running down your cheek saying, and you're wringing your hands saying, oh my goodness, if only I had some paper strips that I could use. Oh. Well, this kid has paper strips. So, again, before turning on the camera, those are sort of the scrap pieces. I picked a bunch of papers. So these that are like so were lightweight, one-sided scrapbooking paper, like really not any heavier than copy paper. I have a number of these, which were the borders around, you know, like a Dollar Tree calendar or something. This is a border from around a kid's book. So anyway, the point I wanted to make is that if you make an altered paper clip using something like this, then obviously you essentially have a blank canvas. You can decorate it however you want to. Now, because of time, we won't decorate anything because you guys know how to decorate, and because you would be using whatever you have and I'd be using whatever I have, and those things probably aren't the same. Now, if I do one of these, sorry, this darn cough. If I do one of these, it is so attractive on its own that it likely won't need anything else. Another lightweight scrapbooking paper. And, you know, dare I say that some of these things, like Exhibit A, camo paper, am I ever going to use this? I highly doubt it. Am I Oh, there's that side. I could use that side. There's always an alternative. Okay, let's use that side. Another blank canvas. And you'll notice that not all of these are the same width, because if this was a cutoff off a different project, then naturally I'm not going to make it into even more scraps. I'll just make a wider paperclip cover. So this is a good thing to get rid of some not so attractive scrapbooking paper. I mean, this is fine. I can use my blush journal. This is fine. I mean, nothing to write home about, but it's not really offensive either. Another calendar thing. This is also part of a landscape. So there's mountains, cloudy sky, water. I guess we'll see what happens with directional paper, and I am addressing that later. And then this is just some sort of border. So that's what I wanted to say about paper. Now back to this wallpaper. Non-directional, there is no up or down, so that's good. So let's just take one of these others and get to this same point. So what I did was I should lay my glue gun. I'm using what is this? Fabri-Tac, because you know, you kind of want good coverage. Now, I don't think it matters much. Well, maybe I should... No, let's do this the opposite of my prototype and see if it makes a difference. So basically, I just centered this, hooked it over one short edge, hooked it over one short edge, centered it from left to right, and on the back side, on the wrong side, I'm going to put some glue in and around it to hold things. Oh, I need to show you something else on Karen's sample. Okay, so essentially I'm just bending this over, making sure that my edges line up. I can feel that's where the paper clip ends, so that is fine. What I noticed about Karen's is that and I don't know if you can see that crease there, that's where her inside structure ends. So this little bit, and that's as far as the paper can go. I mean, the paper clip can go, which means that there is this cute little tab. Now, I don't know if we'll manage to make that or not. I think that's what I have going on here. So then what I did was, what I figured out this morning in the other video is that if we want a paper clip, the whole goal is to encase both sides, both prongs of the paper clip so that nothing is visible. Now on this one, when I close this up soon, I guess we could look in there and yeah, we'd see a paper clip. If we look in Karen's, I don't want to break anything. Hers is totally encased, which means, I guess, that you need a longer strip of paper. So, again, this is where the whole option thing comes in. Now, if I wanted to... Okay, so what I've done here is I folded down. Now, of course, I was experimenting, so I have some creases in there. If I... See, when I glue this together, those ends will be virtually the same. Now, they don't have to be, because frankly, one side will be on one side of the paper, the book page, and the journal page, and the other side will be on the other side. So unless your viewers have X-ray vision, they're never going to know that those two legs, so to speak, are not the same length. So if I want to try to have a little bit of a tab there, and again, you know, if I had a longer strip of paper, that would give me a little more wiggle room. But I don't, and that's fine. I will have enough, though, once I sharpen that crease to cover this little bit of the paper clip that's showing. I guess, you know, for these easier parts, a person could use art glitter glue because it'll be a bit quicker than waiting for that too. So gluing that side down, just as I've glued that side down, then I'm going to close this up. Now, if you can see inside there, if I want to do that, so there's about a 1/4 inch difference there, I'm going to end up with a tab, just like Karen, that genius. Okay, cover this up, use this, because now we want, you know, some hold. I think I just wrecked this. Oh my goodness. I did it again. Now that I've glued that down, I cannot, then I'm sticking that into the glue. I know what I did wrong. Now, is this paper going to lift up or is it going to tear since it's thin? I'll try to save this. What I needed to do, oh my God, this is paper thin. I'll use art glitter. I cannot, see what I mean? Crazy. So I'm just adding glue to this part. This almost see-through part. And I'm going to stick it behind that paper clip. This is where you want the working time that you get with if there was a speech balloon above my head, you can imagine. So this one is wrecked too. Okay, let's practice on camo paper, since we don't care and it's a long strip. So I'm going to fold that like so. I'm going to glue. Whoops, why is that so jagged? I'm going to glue this down. Oh, there's a tear in the paper. Let's use the other end. Okay, so what did you imagine was in the speech balloon above my head? Maybe don't put it in the comments. We don't want to break any of YouTube's rules about profanity. Okay, I've glued that down. So we have one prong hidden. Now, we need enough. So forget those, well, yeah, forget those measurements I gave you. They mean nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I'm going to try to leave that little tab. And then I'm going to leave enough to double. Okay, we're almost right where that tear is. Whoops. Yeah, this south of that little, not that I need to get this paper clip. I've got only 3 million. Okay, so now I need to glue that in like so. Oh, that gives me a very long, I better shorten that. Because it can't go further back than the paper clip. So I can probably take about 1/2 inch off. Yeah, maybe a little more even. Even that is probably too much. Okay, now of course, we don't even know how long this strip was. Well, let's try and measure. Since this is a blooper video anyway, 5 1/4 plus, okay, whoopsie. Can't pick anything up. 5 1/4 plus 1 1/2. So 6 3/4. We'll see if that's the right measurement. So this guy's glued in there. Not quite dry, there's still some give. I'm going to put some glue on the, I've got that lined up. That will get folded. That will become the little tab part. Okay, if you can peek inside there. Oh, again, I'm waiting for glue. And what have I learned about keeping scraps? Throw the 2 smallest ones away. This I can keep. Oh, I guess it would help if I tilted the bottle the right way. Now, I have another idea laid out. We'll see if I'm leading you astray with that one too. And there is a very, I mean, of course, because I tell you guys everything, if this fails, I will tell you. You'll never see the video, but you will hear the story. So I'm just putting glue in there so that I can now squeeze this shut. Now I suppose this is where it would have been better to have the fine detail of our glitter glue, because you can get nice and close to the edge without, whoops, without having it ooze out most of the time. Now my little tab See, hers is glued flat. So that's this end. I could squeeze a bit of glue in there. And a bit of glue in there. And have it come out onto my fingers. Okay, let's do the test. This is just a coaster. Well, let's pretend this is a page. We'll have this. I mean, it could be a top tab too. Hallelujah, sisters and brothers. Okay, let's do another one just to see. Okay, now we've determined that what? That's 6 3/4. So most of these strips are now going to be too short. Do we want to try it though? Let's do one that I don't particularly care about. Oh. Hey. Hey. That didn't stick. So if this side that didn't stick. Oh, that still won't help me. Okay, forget it. Will you people ever forgive me for leading you astray like this? Okay, let's see if we can make it work on shorter paper. We won't do the tab. So, what did I do here? Well, either way, there has to be the first step is always to hide the paper clip. And this time I'll try to get a little closer. And I'm just barely going beyond the edge. Oops. Off the paper clip because I have skimped with the paper through this little mistake-aruno. Okay. So if we forget the whole idea of the tab, oh, there will be a tab. Okay, that's cool. Oh, why am I taking that apart? I need to do the gluing inside there so I don't. So I don't bugger that up. I can probably do my fold, sharpen this fold here. Again, if they're not perfectly aligned, that's that's the least of my problems. Okay. So I'm putting glue. Uh-oh. It's drying up on me. Try get a little closer this time. So I'm sliding this glued flap behind, come on, behind that paper clip. Oh, it looks like something is askew here and I might have to do a little trimming. That's okay. Again, the least of my problems. It's a miracle. And this, yeah, this, I don't need to do any remedial, well, I guess I do if I, well, I better close up the end at least here in the tab part. Not anywhere else, because then I'll effectively repeat my earlier mistake. Okay, 2 down, 6,400 more to go. Okay, and I'm doing this probably, well, mostly for my benefit again. Let's do this plaid one. Because, again, it would be very easy to be confused, as I've already proven. As I have already proven. And of course, if your scraps were bigger, you would be making bigger altered paper clips. Whoops, I pushed that guy off center. Again, the working time, the additional working time you get with Fabri-Tac is a bit of a blessing there. So again, we want enough to enclose. See how I'm sliding that behind there? Now, on this one, if I make my fold here and push the excess that away, west, well, in my case, that would be east, but if you're looking at a map, it would be west on a map, then the tab would be on this side. If I keep that end flush, then it just means that, well, or what does it mean? It just means that this side would be a little wider than that side. But again, it doesn't matter. But what's wrong with doing tabs? Okay, so I've got that in there. I'm going to get in there with the glue. And really, once this is all encased and dried, that paper clip isn't going anywhere. So I'm going to essentially try to even up the bottom, which is the opening. And I'm making a tab. Now I should do this before I squeezed it all closed. And of course, the little tab then allows you to, attach a dangle if you want. I feel like, even though I think I'm on the right track, I feel like I have to prove every single one. I wrote Karen a thank you email, assuring her that the prize arrived and that I loved it, and that I've done a flip-through video on what day it's going to air. So, Karen, if by some chance you're watching this video and there is an idiot-proof way that you can tell me to do the these tab paper clips, you know, by all means, share that or send a link if you've done it on camera. Why, since this is, you know, vinyl wallpaper, why don't we try to salvage this one? And then I'll show you one other thing, and then I will leave you to your own devices. Okay, paper clip in place. So there is something nice about working with wallpaper because, of course, it's tough. It's tough stuff. It's durable. If you pick some wallpaper that you love, and I'm talking about, you know, modern wallpaper, not the vintage stuff that is kind of crumbles almost when you look at it. I am going to make a new fold a lot closer because remember, we're dealing now with this shorter, this 6-inch piece of paper. And hopefully all those creases won't show once I decorate this thingamajigger. So again, slipping it behind there. Doesn't really want to slide in there, probably because, okay. Yeah, we still end up with a little tab there, so that's fine. If I had a nickel for every time I creased this paper. Okay, this will probably go in a prototype. Got glue all over everywhere. Got into a prototype book. So that I can, I'm with some instructions because, trust me, before long, this will all be a distant memory. Ay, ay, ay. So now I'm actually running a bit of glue a little further into what will be the tab area. And then maybe I won't even have to go in with art glitter glue this time. See, do 300 more of these and it becomes easy. Why is that one so tight going on, I wonder? But yeah, those creases are visible to me. I don't know if they're visible to you. And it's probably, well, not the smartest idea in the world to try it when the glue hasn't even set yet. Okay, so let me show you something else. I remember watching videos, and I think Caroline's Craft Tree, she did some hidden paper clips, not like quite recently. I was listening, you know, kind of with one ear and doing my own thing. So I didn't drop everything to quickly do it with her, but that could be another resource to check out. Okay, so this is scrapbooking paper. This is a 12 by 12. Now, not good in the sense, I guess, that it is directional, and most of us like our words right side up. However, I want to try it anyway. Now, the videos that I've seen in the past, people line these, you know, they use the whole big piece of paper, and you'll notice I didn't cut anything off, which is probably very good and very prophetic in my case, make a bit more room here. So, and with this one, this is the long side. I'm using 2-inch paper clips. So 12-inch piece of paper, and I've managed to get 6 on there with some spacing. And of course, I'd make it work anyway because these things don't have to be, there is no magic number what size they should be. So we're going to treat this like we've done these. Oh, that's going to be hard. Uh-oh. That's not going, I was going to say we'd be mass making and we'd be so darn efficient it would just like knock your socks off. However, how in the world would I get my glue into this one or this one from the edge? So there has to be a better way than what I'm doing. I hope I get 1 or 2 stars just for trying though. Actually, this is kind of goofy. I'm really doing something wrong here because I need to apply glue the whole, well, let's just, what the heck. This is like, this is another farm expression. It's like closing the barn door after the cow has escaped. A little too little too late. But I'm willing to humiliate myself. And hopefully you're willing to watch some live humiliation. I suppose to save the project, what I could do after I've closed this up is, what I'll have to do, I think, is, so I'm folding it over to enclose that one leg off the, boy, that kind of stinky. Usually I don't find that smell very offensive. Not exactly the straightest folding in the world either. Okay, so I'm just going to apply some pressure so that it grabs this end probably. Oh no, I guess it's fine. A little glue in there. A little glue in there. Okay, so we are at the point where we now want to enclose this side, this visible side of the paper clip, in paper as well. So I could build in a little flap area, not flap, tab area. And it doesn't help that none of this writing is, this is like writing freehand without any guidelines. Doesn't, oh, where's that my folding? Doesn't help that writing isn't exactly straight either. Okay, so that is going to give us a tab there. But that means we still need the one more fold. I wonder how much can I cut off? And see, this way, this is all going to be good. This way, it's going to be upside down. So that means that that clearly will need to be decorated. I'm just wondering, rather than cut anything off, I'm lining up that edge there. Again, this is not, at this point, this is not going to work because I won't be able to get the glue into those center ones. I'll be able to do each of the outer edge ones, but so let's move my little mat aside so that I can cut this. Again, something is, but again, I'm not gonna sweat it. You can see that something is not lined up here, either because the paper wasn't square, or more likely because I didn't, you know, my first fold maybe was out of whack. But we'll try to salvage this, and we will trim any finished product if we have to. So I'm not measuring, as you can see, I'm just lining. I just want the edges to be straight. I'm trying to split the difference between where I randomly placed those paper clips. Good thing I broke a new end off this earlier today, because it was starting to chew rather than cut, and that's never a good look. So you can see some of these are considerably wider than the little. So this one is 2.5 inches wide. But again, there's nothing, and it's not exactly, okay, now that I've cut them, they're not exactly centered. And that probably isn't going to matter. So if you are a hidden paper clip person, expert, aficionado, and, you know, learned from a particular video or something, by all means, link that in the, or not link it, but mention it in the comments, and I might have to go and learn the right way. Or maybe I've invented something that is so brilliant, the world will be beating a path to my door. Saying, please, Hazel, tell us, how did you do that? With great difficulty. Okay. I will do one of these, because surely by now you've seen enough. You've seen enough blunders to last you for the rest of the day. Did I fold that? No, I didn't. So again, really doesn't matter which way I do it. It's going to be upside down on one side. Maybe I'll let this one go in a little further. And we still have enough to, yeah, because remember I used the whole sheet. I guess well, there is a blessing in that. One whole sheet of paper used to make 6 altered paper clips. Okay, that should be fine. Whoops, again, waiting for glue. Anyway, what can I tell you? Okay, I'm going to Winnipeg. There will be videos to cover my absence. I'm going to be spending time with Kim Newberg and her posse. And I ask you, if you haven't already done so, to go visit Kim's channel. help her get over the 4,000 subscriber mark. And while you're there, enter to win her giveaway. And also check out her coffee shop and, you know, consider joining her monthly program and or availing yourself of the freebies that freebie digital she provides. Oh, well, okay, so that's one thing. Why am I not plugging my own coffee shop and my own freebies? Okay, because number one, I have far fewer than she does. But I do have freebies there that I hope you go and grab. And I also have a membership thing called Words and Pictures. And I had done an intro when I was first launching that. I think, was that January. I did a video explaining what it's about. So members, and the cost is $3 a month Canadian. So that's like, what, 50 cents US? Not quite. I need to trim this. I said I would do one, so I'm covering up my glue. Anyway, the words obviously refer to a Word document that is, I mean, it can be whatever I choose it to be. It can be quotes. 1 month I included I thought, a pretty cute joke. I mean, among other things, obviously. So they're always quotes, inspirational ones, snarky ones, whatever. And so there is a bit of a tab there. More of it. Well, that's fine. And so that's the word part. Not a very big tab, I must say. Oh, well. Yeah, barely a tab. And the pictures part is a digitized piece of art that I have done. So the first month was a watercolor. Second month was something I had done on 5 little mini canvases that I had done with acrylic paint and mixed media. March was circle doodle art. So, yeah. Anyway, and of course, you should become a follower, and then you know when stuff happens. Okay, people. Let's see what we have. Let's do the side that's right side up. I guess it's this side. This is the camel one. This is the salvage. Yeah. And this, of course, is Karen's. Anyway, I hope that this, if you've stuck it out this long, kudos to you. I hope that this has convinced you to give this a try, because, you know, if I could recover from that faux pas, and I hope that you do it because it's a way to snazz up the decorative, it's a way to make your paper clips more decorative. Obviously, we can use them plain on the edge of a page. We can add a bead. We can, you know, add a dangle, a little scrap of fabric or whatever. But if you want to use up your paper scraps, then this is certainly one way to do it. And anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I will continue to work on these, and I would love to see you here again for the next one. Thanks. Bye.